Hello everybody, I am Express and today I'll be talking about Crysis 3 release date and game system requirements. Okay, so release period is February the 2nd, 2013. That has been confirmed by EA recently. And now the Crysis 3 system requirements. Okay, minimum system requirements. For Intel CPU is Pentium dual core running at 3 GHz. Or AMD CPU Athlon 64 X2 dual core, which I believe is also running at 3 GHz. Let's see, 2.7 actually. Okay. For Nvidia GPU is GeForce GTS 450 2GB DDR3 version, or for the AMD is the Radeon HD 5770 1GB, which I have. RAM 2 GB of RAM. For Windows Vista, Windows 7 or Windows 8, the game will not support Windows XP as it runs on DirectX 11. Hard drive space 20 gigs. Okay, now the recommended requirements. Core i3 530 running at 2.9 GHz, which I have. By the way, it's overclocked at 4 GHz now. Or the AMD Phenom II X2 565, which is running at 3.4 GHz. 4 gigs of RAM, DirectX 11, and 20 gigs of hard drive space. Okay. Now for the high performance, or should I say for maximum settings, Core i7 quad-core processor running at 3.4 GHz, or the AMD FX 4150, which runs on 3.8 GHz, and 8 gigs of RAM, also DirectX 11, and 20 gigs of HDD space. Okay, so now let's talk about the game a bit. Let me just read you this. The Crysis has been a benchmark for pushing PC hardware to the extreme. Crysis 2 eased off in its requirements, and now we have Crysis 3. Which way will it go? Well, we have the system requirements, blah blah blah. Okay, so the interesting thing is, wait, come on. Okay, that the game has finally been released just for DirectX 11, which means that you'll need a newer video card. I know that some people are still on DirectX 9 and DirectX 10 cards, but this means that the graphics will be very high quality. Well, I hope so. And we can see by the requirements that you'll need at least a decent PC, 2-core processor, and a middle range GPU which supports DirectX 11. RAM, well, most of the users now have 4 gigs of RAM, which is good for the recommended, and if you don't have 4 gigs of RAM, 2 gigabytes will be sufficient. Okay, and like I said, Windows XP will not be supported because it's an outdated Windows version. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or any thoughts, please leave them in the comment section below. Bye.